Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to my channel. Not a good news for the end of time MALHAMA as we talk about in this channel. By the way, in case if you are new to this channel, consider to subscribe. Also hit the bell notification because I make other videos so you miss out topics where I talk about this particular issue, which is World War III MALHAMA. So hit the bell. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. What is happening right now, as you can see right here, Sweden and Finland. I will be actually marking these countries on the map right here. As you can see, these are the two countries, Finland, Sweden. Turkey, they have said recently that we are not going to be objecting for these two countries to join, because remember, Erdogan, he said no to these countries before. The whole NATO 30 military alliance countries, they were confused. They could not make a decision, and they were cajoling, if you like, Erdogan to change his mind, and they were saying, no, we'll take care of it. In fact, Stoltenberg, the NATO Secretary-Chief, he said to Erdogan, we understand your problem, please do not object Finland, Sweden joining NATO. So again, as you can see on the screen, joining NATO now would mean what Russia said may come true. So this is what we have found out. Let me take you to this next page where you will be able to see better what the response was and how these countries are preparing for Putin's threat. So this is the Prime Minister of Sweden, okay, when she applied for the NATO membership right here, as you can see right here. When she applied for the NATO membership, she said to her country that we must be prepared. Okay, we must be prepared because we do not know what the response of Putin would be. And obviously Putin, he said in a later statement that joining NATO by these two countries would really mean nothing, because we are not really worried about you guys joining NATO, which is a pretty derogatory term for these countries. But nevertheless, this Swedish Prime Minister, her name is Magdalena Andersson, as you can see right here on the screen. She said that we must be prepared because she cannot trust this man. Putin can be very unpredictable, and he had been all the time. He is very unpredictable, and you do not know what will be his next move. But nevertheless, he did say that yeah, don't worry, if you guys are joining NATO, should not be a big concern for us. So Putin, he really played the card very cool, looks like. Now she said, a Swedish Prime Minister, she said that Nordic country means Sweden, Finland. I will take you back to the map here. As you can see, these are the Nordic countries, okay, Sweden, Finland, this whole region. I will actually put the map right here. These are Nordic countries, okay, Sweden, Finland, Norway, these are all Nordic countries. So Russia here, right here, they said, well, don't worry about anything, we will not attack you. But all of these nations, okay, all of these countries are going to be very vulnerable to who? To Russian attack. So Russia here can attack these countries, and Russia can actually use a country called Belarus right here alongside the border to launch a attack. So Belarus is most likely here. Russia can use this country, Belarus, to attack these Nordic nations, as you can see on the map, and invade these countries. But now Putin is saying we will not do it. So what does it mean that Turkey is now saying that these countries, Sweden, Finland, can join NATO? What does it really mean? It means the promise that Putin made. If you don't remember, Putin did issue a threat in the past, and he said that, look, if you guys are joining NATO, we will be preparing for it. So I actually made a video yesterday for my other channel where I mentioned basically NATO knows now that Russia is not going to back down from it and from its promises. Why? Because Putin has done it in the past. Putin is going to do it again. In 2019, for example, Putin, he sent nuclear capable missiles to a place called, I believe, Kringling. That place is bordering with who? These Nordic nations, Sweden, Poland, Finland. And even though that place Putin could use to send those nuclear powered missiles, but these countries, they did not feel safe from it, and that happened back in the year 2019. So this is 2022. So Putin right now is also at the same time sending more nuclear weapon missiles to its borders. At the same time, they are arming Belarusian government. So if you have not heard the news, Putin actually confirmed that we are going to be sending a nuclear weapon missile to Belarus. Why? Do you think Putin is sending those nuclear weapon to missile to Belarus to have fun? Of course not. He's sending them so that Belarusian government, they can use it against Ukraine or Poland or maybe Finland. I made a mention in my past videos, and I said Turkey's Erdogan, as you can see, Turkey's Erdogan, he is not going to object the inclusion of these two countries. Okay, I said that Erdogan would not do it, but Erdogan now is saying that no, we will have no problem if these countries, they want to join NATO. So his foreign minister, again here, as you can see, they were all united on it, that we will not let these countries join. But now, of course, they are agreeing. They are saying, okay, no problem, you want to join NATO, that's not a problem. It means that Erdogan outwardly is with NATO, but behind closed doors he is actually with Russia. There are many reasons. Number one reason for Erdogan to be with Russia is because his country gains billions of dollars from Russian tourism. They have packed, energy packed, oil packed, a lot of things. They have good relationship. Putin and Erdogan, they are very good friends. At the same time, you also have to take into consideration that Turkey is finding itself sandwiched between NATO and Russia, where they really have to change their positions almost all the time. It's very, very fleeting. Sometimes they will go with Russia, sometimes you will see go with obviously outwardly they are with NATO, with the Western powers. So Turkey, for them to make a decision based on what is happening, is not cut and dry. Okay, it is very, very complicated. I'm sure that Erdogan, he talked to Putin and he told him that, look, I cannot help. Finland, Sweden, they want to join NATO. I have no power. If I do something, if I veto, then I will be under tremendous sanction and whatnot. The West will hate me. So let me have them join NATO, and then we can deal with them later. And this is exactly what Turkey did. However, Putin has reacted by saying NATO's expansion. Now this is where I want to really make a point, because this is a very, very interesting and important point. So Putin said no problem, you guys can join, but now take a look at what Putin is saying. NATO's expansion itself was not a threat. He had previously warned that Moscow would take action if NATO to move more troops or hardware onto the territory of its new members, steps Finland and Sweden have both already ruled out. Okay, so what does it really mean? It means that you can join NATO, you can do whatever you want. Finland, Sweden, you guys can do whatever you want. You join NATO, fine. Okay, this is what Putin is saying. However, don't bring your weapons close to our borders, because if you do that, then we are going to strike you, because those weapons you are pointing at us, and it makes sense, because if you have a gun, right, and you're pointing towards somebody, that person is not going to feel comfortable. Even if you say, oh, I'm not going to shoot you, but this guy goes, oh no, you may shoot anytime, right? So Putin is saying, yeah, bring your NATO, no problem, NATO expansion, no problem, but do not bring your hardware, your troops, your weapons, because then we will have no choice but to stop you. As far as expansion goes, okay, if you can take a look, including new members, Finland, Sweden, Russia has no problem with these states. None, Putin said. Again, none. Wow, he said no problem, go and do whatever you want. And then he said, quote, and so in this sense, there is no immediate threat to Russia from an expansion to include these countries. So now Putin is saying that US, Canada, all of these countries, you want to join your NATO forces and do whatever you want. Well, fine, no problem, but we have conditions. So this is highly conditional. For Russia to feel safe, all right, from this entire European countries, from all of these countries, because they can attack Russia. They can, if Russia doesn't attack them, they can attack Russia from all direction. Because look at this, Russia is really, cornered. Like Russia has really nowhere to go, but these countries can go. Russia has nowhere to go. Russia is Russia, but these countries, they can always, alternate between attacks to Russia. Sometimes it could be Sweden, sometimes Finland. So all of them can be involved financing the attack against Russia. So for Russia, it is going to be very hard. But for these countries, no problem. We will go after Russia because Russia is right there and we can see it. It's easy to target. But subhanAllah, as we talk about the end of time, MALHAMA and whatnot, dear my sisters, it is coming. World War III is coming, unfortunately. But the most important thing is that we have to be prepared for it and create awareness what is happening so that we are on the right side of the history. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.